Here's the Forgotten Hive Part 2.
From the water?
From the fish
Oh, right.
that are now swarming all over him.
I was going to walk through it anyway, so...
Biggest rolled an 18 on initiative.
Galora rolled a 20. A dirty 20.
Chedbar has a 17.
Blender got a 6.
Galora, you're first. You just saw Chedbar face plant into the water, and
Yeah.
Blender Misty stepped it to the other side.
Misty stepped at it. Well, Chedbar's taking on the wrath that I would have incurred because I was just going to wade through the water. So I will go up. It's just one fish on him, or?
It's a swarm, so many fish.
I am going to go up next to Chedbar, and I am going to slash at the swarm with my longsword. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits them.
And that is 7 slashing damage. I also, if this is treated as a swarm or whatever, I also have Unwavering Mark, so when I hit with a melee weapon attack, the creature is marked. So I'll mark the swarm until the end of my next turn. So while it's within 5 feet of me, so unless they move away from Bill, a marked creature has disadvantage on their attack roll that doesn't target me. So they basically would have disadvantage against Bill. And if they deal damage to, Chedbar, then I can make a special attack against it my next turn as a bonus action with advantage and extra damage and stuff.
So when you slash out at them, they do take damage, but they don't seem to have taken as much damage as you maybe thought they should. Like maybe the water is slowing down your sword a little bit or something. It is Big Assist's turn.
So I see all this happen, and I sort of pull my little short bow off my shoulder and put the string on, pull an arrow out, and I sort of aim down looking. I see Chedbar's head, and I move it around a little bit, and I'm sort of seeing these fish jumping in and out. And they're moving pretty fast, so I'm just sort of take a shot in the air about where I think one might be if it jumps out of the water there. That's a 12.
You're tracking one fish, you got him in your sights, you loose your arrow, and the fish went left when you thought it was going to go right, and you missed. Chedbar.
Chedbar is not unfamiliar to the situation he's got himself in. However, still embarrassing. But he's going to try and shrug it off. He's got a thick skin. He doesn't get embarrassed easily. So I'm going to, I guess it would take half my movement to try and stand up. Can I try to stand up in this slippery water?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
18.
You are able to get to your feet and resist the current of the water flowing past you.
So you said the width of the river was how much?
5 feet. And you're about in the middle.
Does it seem like it's going to get a lot deeper than it is where I am?
No.
All right, I think I'm just going to try and take a few hops to make it to the other side.
Give me an athletics check.
10.
You try and take your first step, and you weren't quite prepared for the combination of the slipperiness of the rocks and the fast movingness of the water, and you actually are felled back down and farther downstream now.
Oh boy. Okay, so you hear Chedbar kind of sputter as he gets up. Try not to do it like I'm doing it. Here, do it like this instead. And then he slips again, splashes in the water, and is swept a bit further away from where he's trying to get to.
So the fish will now try to nibble on this newfound food source. And with disadvantage, I have a 13 to hit Chedbar.
That is a miss.
So they are just getting bits of your armor and your shield, and they just can't quite get onto you. It's Blender's turn. So since you imbibed on this blood honey, you are in this rage, and you feel a need to enter any melee combat with the nearest foe that you see.
Accurate.
Oh no. I mean, I am pretty mad at Chedbar right now.
Attack!
But you can't swim. It's okay. You see us standing up in the water, and we're 3 feet tall, so...
Okay, so again, in this crimson fury from this blood honey, Blender will withdraw his little dagger and charge right at this group of fish into the water.
Give me an athletics check to see if you can maintain your feet.
12.
You, as soon as you enter the water, you are swept downstream. You go 5 or just a few feet downstream, past the swarm and past Chedbar.
Ah, Gloria, how do I swim? How do I swim?
You can attempt to make an attack with disadvantage as you are flowing by.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Galora will be like,
Lesson number 1, it's shallow, just stand.
my attempt in my frantic rage is a critical fail with my dagger.
Okay. This is punishing enough. I won't cause anything bad to happen with your crit fail. Rivers. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Man.
Most dangerous thing in
don't go
Dungeons and
chasing
Dragons.
waterfalls. And I was like, let's go.
They are a worthy foe. In my experience.
Galora.
Galora's gonna do her special attack against this swarm. So I have advantage. 22.
22 hits him.
9 slashing damage. And since they're downriver, Galora is going to get herself to the other side with her movement this turn. I don't think I'm engaged. Well, I'm hitting them, I guess, so I'm engaged with them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just stand there.
Biggest.
I sort of look at my bow and look at the end of the arrow and go, I think I gotta lead it a little bit more. And I sort of aim a little bit further down, more towards Chedbar's head, but just a little bit off, thinking that think I got this all figured out now.
Don't roll a 1.
It's an 11.
Oh. The fish are just moving too fast for you. You just can't quite keep up with their movements.
Maybe instead of leading them, I gotta trail them.
Yeah, wasn't one of you talking about chemtrails earlier? I think that's the same thing.
I don't know what a chemtrail is.
Me neither.
Nobody knows what anything is around here.
I kind of want to go hiking now and, eat some trail mix.
Chedbar, it's your turn.
Chedbar's gonna try and stand up again. Try and get his footing.
Athletics, please.
19 on the die for 23.
You have the feel of the water now. You're getting used to the slipperiness of the rocks. You know what you're doing now. You easily stand up in this water. You got it.
All right. Is Blender upright, or is he on his back or on his face, blubbing and gurgling in the water?
I mean, he got swept, right? So he's flailing.
Yeah.
Blubbing and gurgling.
He's rage flailing.
Okay.
It is very distinct from a panic flail.
He's just gonna
FYI.
tire himself out.
Yeah, he's gonna need a nap after.
and his soother. So Chedbar feels kind of like brotherly affection for Blender, and remembers that Blender said he can't swim. So it looks like he's pretty close to Blender. He's going to take a little bit of a step back down the river into the way it's flowing. Try and grab him by the forearm or the upper arm underneath the armpit and hoist him up onto his feet.
Okay, give me either athletics or acrobatics, whichever one's better for you.
13.
Emily.
Just lower that DC, baby.
Emily's just exhaling very loud.
I mean,
yeah.
rage flails.
You just... He's flailing all over the place. You were able to just grasp hold of his sleeve. You don't have a good grip on him, but you've stopped his movement down the river.
Okay. I got you, buddy. We'll get out of this. I've been in worse. And then I would like to try and drag him up towards, where we were initially trying to go to.
Towards the swarm of fish.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're in the fish. So
Yeah, that's
give
fine.
me an athletics with disadvantage, because these fish are all over both of you.
We're deep in the fish.
Ugh.
Not too bad, actually.
Good thing we have a healer,
13.
You make it a few steps closer to the tunnel, back up river. It's the fish's turn now.
The vicious fishes.
It was only one turn.
They don't need to not have disadvantage because I rolled an 18. So that gives me a 23 to hit on Chedbar.
Okay, that's a hit. Lay it on Chedbar. He can take it.
You ready for this 4d4? 12 points of damage from these fish nipping at you.
Ouch.
Dang.
Oh dear.
Hey, Zeus.
I love these.
Surprise face.
Blender, you are still flailing, but you're just barely being held on by Chedbar, and you're being pulled back upstream, and you can hear downstream the water gets louder. And there's a little bit of an echo.
Uh-oh.
And these fish are swarming all over you, taking little nips at you and Chedbar.
Come on, buddy. Try and pull your weight here. I'm getting chomped on.
I will try to stand up, and I would like to attack them.
Okay, give me an athletics check first.
7.
You cannot get your feet under you, and no matter how hard you try, you just keep slipping, and the water keeps just dragging on you, and you can't get your feet under you. Give me a flail attack with disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantages with another critical fail.
There's water all over Leland's shirt, just for the listener.
Spit water all over myself.
It was a perfect sound effect. Like, you made it work.
So good.
The cleanup.
Hey, at least it wasn't red wine this time.
It's hot, yeah.
Galora.
You know, when you gurgle your wine, it just aerates it. So, pro tip for you wine connoisseurs out there.
Yes. I'm somewhat of a
That's how the
sommelier.
professionals do it.
That's how they aerate it for you at a restaurant before they pour you your drink. So just gurgles it.
That's how you know it's a Michelin star.
That's right.
I'm still right up in range of these stupid fish. I swing my sword. 17
17 hits them.
for another 7 slashing.
They're not looking good.
I'm gonna take the opportunity attack to just get on the other side of the water. I just don't want to be in this
Just
water.
get me out of here.
Okay, how are you going to cross? You going to walk across, or?
I'm just gonna walk.
Okay, so give me an athletics check.
22.
You make it across, and some of the fish, there are not as many fish there as there were before. Some of them kind of try and nip at you, but they miss as you're too swiftly walking across.
I am Galora Swiftfoot. So
Definitely.
yes.
Vegas.
I stick with this short bow thing, and there's a good chance if I shoot where they were, they're going to hit them. And I loose an arrow. 20.
Yes, you loose this arrow, and
Wow.
it goes right into one fish, and it sticks in the wall on the other side, and the fish is just kind of wriggling off your arrow.
I knew that's how it worked.
Defying all realms of logic.
It's an illogical bow.
This is my bow of illogic.
Chedbar.
He's a little bit pissed off, to be frank.
Oh, you are.
He hasn't even tasted the honey, and he's pist.
Yeah, you
Why
have
are
a choice.
There's no need to be pissed at Frank, okay?
If I meet Frank, I'm gonna turn him into a zombie.
Frank's skewered on the wall right now. Does it look like we've made a significant dent in the swarm of the fish, or?
Yes, the swarm is much smaller than it was. There's only a few left trying to attack you.
So Chedbar looks back at Blender and decides, you know what, Blender's on his own for right now. He's tried to help him. He's gonna let go and hope that Blender can kind of compose himself and not drift further down. Because it's fighting time for Chedbar, and when it's fighting time, It's fighting
You
time.
just abandoned all your friends. And those 6 seconds ago, Chedbar was thinking, wow, I gotta save this brother of mine.
Yeah. But then Fish started, chewing on his shins and his calves.
There's a friend acquaintance shift that happens pretty easily.
He's gonna unsheath his slightly less glowing sword than Galora, and just gonna slash through the water to wherever he sees the biggest clump of fish. He's pissed. Nat 20.
Yeah, let's go.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. I never roll nat 20s on attack rolls. They're always on, like, a check to see if you hear something. 14 slashing damage.
You slash out and you destroy the rest of the fish that are here in sight, and once you're finished splashing about, you don't see any more fish.
I'm going to turn around. See, Blender, that's how it's done. I know, you're new to this whole anger issue. I've been through lots of it over the years and been told that I need to learn how to control it, and that's how you control it.
Yeah, Blender is just flailing, yelling.
Can you give me an athletics check, please?
9.
You, in your flailing, go down river 5 more feet.
Oh, for Pete's sake. We're doing this again, huh?
Oh, don't get mad at Pete either.
Galora, what do you want to do? There are no more fish, but Blender is swiftly flowing downstream. We're technically out of initiative, so pretty much free for all. How do you want to save Blender?
If we're out of initiative and Chedbar can act freely, because it looks like Blender's actually flowing quite rapidly away from him, he's not going to try and walk. He's actually just going to dive in and swim to try and catch up with him. Then once he catches up with him, he'll try and right himself and hold on to Blender as well.
Okay, so you're going to dive in and try and grab Blender. Galora, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna dive in and try to make sure Chedbar doesn't go further back down. I'll go up to him and, grab a piece of his armor or something so he doesn't float away.
Okay, and Biggest, what do you want to do?
I'm going to try to grab onto Galora's legs so
Yeah.
I can pull them all back.
It's a chain, yes.
So you're still on the near side of the river, so you're going to try and pull them back to...
So I'm going to run up to the side of the shore, and then I'm going to very, very slowly step on each rock as I go across, and as Galora is starting to go down, see if I can grab. Maybe I'm too slow, but I'm going to make it look like I really am trying.
Chedbar, give me a strength check. That's not a good face.
A 9?
Galora, give me a strength.
24. Galora is so athletic.
Biggest, athletics, please.
Yeah, I got a -1 on athletics, so here we go.
Here we go.
All right, I got a 6.
Way to go,
Positive.
Biggest.
So I'm gonna be floating past Blender.
This one shot's over. Great job. We just float down the river.
So Galora is holding on to Chedbar. Chedbar is holding on to Blender. Biggest is floating down.
Can I grab on to Galora as I float by?
Yeah, could I try to grab him on the way down?
He can try and grab you. Give me an acrobatics to try and grab her.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, 14 acrobatics.
You are able to grab hold of her.
I will also say, to grab the armor, I do it with my sword hand, right? So my sword is sheathed, so all I have is Chedbar's light to even see what the heck's going on.
Yes.
Galora, use your shield to knock Biggest out. I've heard that drowning people can take you down with them.
So now that
Really get the
now
joke.
that there's no immediate threat, Blender's just going to misty step back to the other far side of the shore.
After all of this,
We did it for you!
He's no longer compelled by the blood honey to take out the immediate threat, so he has his faculties about him, kind of.
What? Okay, that was not a very good first lesson.
You're still in the water, right, Galora?
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'll just, I'm holding Chedbar, you're floating,
I'm holding you.
and I just start trying to walk to the edge.
Okay. Now you all can make it to the other side of
Okay,
the
thank
river.
Woo! All right.
Oh wow.
I had to pee again. My urethra sore.
I did pee again.
Too much information.
Hey, Cheddar, can you give me a perception check while you're doing all this?
A total of 4. My perception is +3.
Okay. So to the north, the tunnel goes on.
I will never be swimming again.
I don't think you swam that time.
Lesson 2 will be without the fish. It's fine. In a environment without the fish, you'll be much better. Trust me.
Yeah, did you see the teeth on those things, Blender? I was struggling to swim too. I think, without those teethy fish, we would have been fine.
Yeah, I think I've had quite enough of this weird honey thing.
No.
Perhaps someone else can have some of it next time.
Blender, trust me, you're way better with the honey. No offense. I mean, you're a great guy without the honey, but you know what I mean.
Actually, I just had a thought, and Blender will kind of inch back to where Frank has been skewered to the wall. Since those things had quite a strange amount of teeth, he will attempt to use his wand of smiles on Frank.
Oh my gosh.
to make the fish smile.
It's dead, so it can't save, so it is still smiling.
Somebody, Chadbar, please hold me. I need to retrieve Frank.
All right, Chedbar will oblige. He'll grab a firm hold onto his kind of like his elbow, his forearm.
Chedbar, give me an athletics, and Blender, give me athletics.
17.
5.
You almost fall back in, but since Chedbar's holding on to you, he saves you from another splash, and you're able to get the arrow out of the wall with the fish on it.
All
That
right.
is smiling.
Smiling fish.
Would you look at that? It died happy, doing what it loves, trying to nibble on people.
Blender, give me a perception.
15.
As you are doing this and you're swinging around because you almost lost your footing, you do notice upstream there is a sort of, not really a beachy area, but like a rocky area around the river, more of like somewhere you could stand.
Kind of like a shore.
Yes,
So you could-
that's the word I wanted, thank you.
Okay. Well, we've made a new friend. Perhaps this new smiling Frank fish will come in handy later. But look up there, Chedbar. I see, some type of shore.
Well, what do you all think? We could, I mean...
Oh, I'm not going back in the water.
No more water game. Yeah, no.
Really? I thought that was pretty, it's a pretty good time, really.
It didn't really go that well for him.
I guess, but, I'm pretty sure there's like an old proverb about leaving shores unturned, or rocks, or, sand in the sea, or something like that.
Maybe if I would have remembered my raft.
Well, it does appear to be upstream. I'm not sure how much the raft would have helped us in this situation, but I certainly...
I am a very strong paddler.
Oh, I see. Well, you didn't mention any paddles when I took into calculation of how useful a raft would be in this situation.
And Galora flexes, but all you see is heavy chainmail armor, so you can't tell the difference. So.
Yes. Very impressive. So I suppose onward down the tunnel then.
Yeah, I suppose if you all don't want to splash around anymore, that's fine. There's probably lots more adventure up this path anyway.
The tunnel continues in a northeasterly direction, back down to 5 feet in diameter. Are you continuing up the tunnel?
The Blender's not leading the way for sure.
Yeah, Chedbar's just feeling warmed up. That was fun. So he's stomping forward.
Okay, yeah, you go up front. I'll take my sword back out.
I look at Blender and I go, if we mount this fish on a thing and we could make it smile and sing, I'm sure they'd sell.
Joy to the world.
Don't worry, be happy.
You walk into this oddly shaped 10 by 15-ish chamber and immediately hear, "Ooga!
What?
Every
in the
couple of
world?
seconds, this alarm sounds.
Keep going.
You see 2 oversized toadstools that have a distinctly bloated appearance due to the fluttering lamella on the underside of their caps. These howling fungi use their papery ribs to draw air into their caps, allowing for their unearthly howl. The caps are red, spotted with what merely look like white spots, but on closer look, you see those spots are constrictive vents through which the air is released, thereby creating the shrill and disorienting noise. A smell of decay and rot fills the air, and wisps of spores trail before your eyes. Giant fungi of all shapes and colors fill this chamber, while the floor shows several well-worn paths, seemingly trodden smooth by the passage of feet. In fact, now that you look a little closer, you can see that these paths are so well trodden that they actually lie more than an inch below the rest of the chamber's floor. There are 4 other exits out of this chamber. A slightly larger path to the west, 2 paths to the east, and 1 across the chamber to the north. And you can also there's another path to the south. Everybody, I need you to give me con saves.
Biggest got a 15.
Glora got a 20.
Chedbar got a 15.
10 for Blender.
Everybody is thrown off by this noise, but you're able to deal with it, except for Blender. You are disoriented by the howling, and you will have disadvantage for 2 rounds on all attacks, saving throws, and skill checks.
Does Chedbar recognize any of these sort of like fungus-looking things or anything in this room really? Does it look like something he's seen before or maybe heard about?
Give me nature check, and remember this auga is still going on.
Somebody, please, if you stop that shrieking. I can hear it inside of my brain.
14 for nature.
Yeah, you think maybe you recognize a couple of them, but you're not really sure.
Chedbar is going to stomp into the room and look to try and find the source of this loud noise, because he's worried about his little buddy Blender.
There are 2 sets of the big red mushrooms with white spots, and they are clearly the ones that are moving and making this noise.
He is going to pull out his Moon Touch sword and swing at the one on the right.
Okay, give me an attack.
I'll try and shut these things up for you, buddy. Don't worry. 11 to hit.
Yes, you hit the mushroom that is shrilling.
4 slashing damage.
You cut off a big chunk of it, but there is still half of it that is still ooging, so it's quieter than it was, but it's still
Ooging.
ooh. So you have a ooh, and you have a wooga on the other side of the room.
I'll chop one of them too.
Okay, give me an attack.
An 11.
You hit it. What's the damage?
7 piercing. And do I get sneak attack on that?
No.
Can I sneak up on a mushroom?
No.
I would say they don't know that I'm.
Not an auga-ing mushroom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
I've heard
way
that
too
mushrooms sneak up on you.
Yeah, 7 piercing.
So you stab in there, and it kind of just deflates the mushroom. So one set is quieted, the other one is still kind of has a half-hearted awooga going on. Half-hearted awooga.
Okay.
He's given up on his job. It's like, I don't get paid enough for this. Ooga.
Well, no, that one's quite a little bit sad now, isn't it?
Should we cheer it up?
Yes, we should kill it.
I kind of want to cheer it up. Yeah.
Yes, we should
Excuse
kill
me.
it.
I've noticed that your Ooga needs to be better. Try again. Okay, since you're not a good Ooga, I'm just gonna knock you out, okay?
Just put your finger in its auga hole.
Glora's just gonna slice it.
Never finger the awooga.
We gave it a chance. 11? Does 11 hit?
Yes. 11 hits.
So 11 hits it for 5 slashing damage, the half-hearted Awooga.
So, this mushroom it deflates and the sound stops.
Galore, that's how you get a crusty thumb like I've got.
Oh, gross. I just felt like it wasn't doing its job well enough, so, you know. It felt exciting to get my sword back out.
Out of the darkness, a 15-foot cone of biting insects engulf Chedbar, who is in the center of the room.
Oh, phew.
As two giant lizards with creatures on their back enter from the two northern hallways. These two creatures have smooth, eyeless faces, and they're a horrifying sight. They're wearing nothing over their alien and sexless forms. They are seemingly elven, but they carry no weapons. Instead, they have long, jagged, claw-like nails, and there are just swarms of biting gnats swarming all around them.
Does Chedbar recognize
Yeah,
them?
Blender knows what these things are.
Give me nature checks.
They're chanterelles. They pair really well with a dry red. I like them in my
16 for
pasta
Blender.
dishes.
A Chianti, perhaps?
I'm feeling hungry.
19 for Chedbar.
You both remember reading about these creatures, and you know them as the Maltod.
Oh, I certainly have read about these creatures. We're quite f***ed.
I don't want to be.
Chedbar, I need you to give me a dex save.
Cover
as
your
this
Awooga holes.
15-foot
Sorry.
as a swarm of insects crawl all over you and nip at you.
Oh, Chedbar, pucker up.
Close your urethra!
I was gonna say I pull out my butt plug. I'm gonna leave it in.
Yeah, you better leave that in.
She's just been rocking a plug. Okay. All right.
Okay, what was I doing?
Dex save is trying to avoid the swarm of insects flying at you.
13.
13, you manage to just dodge out of the way as this swarm just flies right over your head.
All right, so I kind of like put my shield up and duck down again, getting close to the ground, staying nimble.
Shall we roll for initiative?
Yeah.
We shall.
Je refuse.
Biggest rolled an 8.
Galora is 11.
Chedbar rolled a 9.
Blender with a 16.
Channel that rage, buddy.
Blender, you're first.
Well, you know, without the honey, I'm not quite as rageful as I could be. But perhaps.
It's okay, you're better like this.
Oh well,
Just stay like
I
this.
appreciate that, Galora. Perhaps Chedbar, you could make a little more use out of this, and I will.
You're beautiful just the way you are.
I will get up behind Chedbar, kind of stepping over the vanquished Awoogas, and I'm going to touch you. Not in the Awooga hole, but I will touch one willing creature, assuming you are so, to imbue you with the power to spew magical energy from your mouth, provided that you have one. So, as part of my nature, would I know if, like, because I can choose an elemental damage for the dragon breath I'm going to give to Chedbar, would I know if, like, one would be a better choice over another against specifically the Maltods?
You're not sure with these variation of Maltod.
Okay, I'm just gonna give Chedbar the good old flame breath then.
Excellent choice, Leland.
So until the spell ends, Chedbar, you can use your action to exhale energy, fire energy, in a 15-foot cone, causing each creature in the cone to make a Dex saving throw, taking 3d6 fire damage on a fail, half as much on a successful one.
What would be the DC for the saving throw?
It's a DC 15.
It's pretty decent.
I do have to maintain concentration on that though, but it's popped.
All right. Chedbar thanks you.
Galora.
Well, I guess I'll fight.
I go up to. No one's in melee range of either of these guys. If I go between them, can I reach either of them?
Yeah, they're close enough.
I just pop myself right into the middle, and I will swipe at the green boy. That is a 20, so yeah, critical hit.
Nice.
So 8 plus 3 is 11, plus one more roll here. 11 plus 6, 17 slashing.
Okay, so you pop over there in between these two and slash out at the one that would be on your left and almost take him down. He is just barely hanging on to his lizard.
Not a euphemism.
I was waiting for that.
Well, I see that, like, my one hit almost takes him down, and I feel this confidence, so I will use my action surge to swipe at him one more time. And that's only a 13 to hit.
13 still hits.
Yeah. A 10. 10's more slashing.
So your first hit takes him down. He's just barely hanging on. You bring your sword around and just knock him in half. He is now 2 pieces, laying on the floor.
Do I know if he would taste well in any of my favorite dishes?
You can try later or ask one of the others.
Okay.
I feel like if you sauteed him in some grass-fed butter with a steak, perhaps.
Yeah, the adrenaline rush of seeing this guy go down is like, yeah! And then I, like, put my shield up and I, like, face the next guy, ready to go.
Chedbar, it's your turn.
Chedbar is ready to party. This is what he came here for. So he takes a step toward this Maltoad on his right, holding his shield up, and peeks around the side. A little bit new to having dragon breath, but familiar with having bad breath. Yes. Takes a deep breath and exhales right into his face. So he will need to make a dex save.
Well, the Maltod got a 4, and the lizard got a 14.
What was the DC, Leland?
15. 3d6.
Okay, so they both fail.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, dang. Rolled 2 6s and a 1. So 13. 13 fire damage. I think I'm going to use my bonus action to use my second wind to regain 1d10 plus 3 HP.
Vegas, you're next.
I start to run up towards the purple muffin man at full sprint when I see the dragon breath come from Chedbar, so I stop and turn around and run over towards the lizard on the other side and try to attack it, the one next to Galora. That's a 25 to hit.
25 hits it.
It's a 5 piercing and 7 sneak attack. So I run up and I take the dagger and I try to jab it right into the top of the lizard's head.
He's not looking good. He's very stunned by this, but he is still alive. It is the cave lizard's turn. The one that has his dagger in its Biggus's dagger in its head is going to chomp out at Biggus for a 20 to hit.
Oh yeah.
You take 1 piercing damage plus 5 poison damage.
Ruh-roh.
The other lizard will strike out at Galora. 16 to hit.
Misses.
So it is still reeling from the fire, and it's just flashing out blindly, and he misses you.
I had my shield ready.
And the other Maltod drone will claw at you. 12. He is also just barely hanging on and is kind of feebly lashing out with his claws, and he misses you. Blender.
I miss him too.
I am going to, so seeing the state of the lizard that Vegas is stabbing, and kind of reposition just a little bit to my right, about 10 feet, and then I'm just going to try to chromatic orb the lizard. And I'll choose ice.
Ice, baby.
Well, that is only a 13 to hit.
How does chromatic orb work?
It's just a range attack. It like shoots out this little orb of energy and then splashes whatever elemental damage I choose over it.
So you shoot out your orb and the lizard jerks right at the wrong moment, trying to free itself from Biggus's dagger.
Fudge.
And you miss. Galora.
Well, I guess I'll continue to, Well, okay, is the Mushroom Man doing more damage than this lizard? Like, the lizard was trying to hit me, so it's like I want to hit him back, but
I mean, they both tried to hit you.
I'll just finish the lizard that's by me. Green boy. Moon touch sword, the one that's cooler than Chedbar's. Swings. 21 to hit.
Okay, so you lash out with your sword. You don't even need to roll me damage. You finish what Biggest started and lop off its head.
11 damage. I'm okay with that. Ooh,
Good.
feels good. Feels good. Pivots. Shield up for the other guy.
Okay, you good? Chedbar?
All right, he is digging this fiery breath, so he's going to do the same again. Kind of crouch down a little bit, brace his shield up, and peek his head around the side and just exhale this fiery breath. So a dex save.
Maltod got a 17. The lizard got a 5.
So the total damage is 10 for those who failed.
The lizard just is crispified and crumbles underneath the Maltod.
Your little buddy's looking pretty crunchy there, man. You might want to hightail it out of here.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I, as a necromancer, have a grim harvest, and the exact wording is once per turn when I kill one or more creatures with a spell of first level or higher, I get some HP back. Now, I know I didn't breathe the fire, but it is my spell.
But you did kill the creature.
This is nonsense.
I'm gonna be a stickler.
You kill the creature with your spell.
It's all right, buddy. I'll give you some more of this honey, and you can get angry at the DM on the next turn.
Biggest.
Okay, so I pull my dagger out of the head of the other lizard, and I pull my other dagger out from my belt, jump over the lizard, and try to jab
Double dagger him?
into the double dagger. I'm going to use some 2-weapon fighting that I forgot I had. So the first dagger, 24 to hit.
That hits.
That would be 8 piercing and 9 sneak attack. And then with the offhand dagger, that's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And I get the piercing minus my modifier, so that would only be 2 piercing damage.
It's enough. You finish him off.
I jump over and jab one into one side of his head and one into the other side of his head, and sort of slice back to sort of peel off the top, like taking the muffin top off.
Can you do that to me? I mean, wait. Can you do that to me?
Oh my.
I didn't know you were into that kind of thing.
No, I need to lose some muffin top. It's hard to tell with my armor. It's fine. It's a joke.
I get it.
Okay, good.
You are out of initiative. Everything's dead. You're surrounded by mushrooms and spores. To the south, you can just make out the riverbank. There's a tunnel back toward the southwest. There's a tunnel to the southeast. There's a tunnel to the east, a tunnel to the northeast, and a tunnel to the northwest. You are gluttons with tunnels.
Do we hear anything out of any of them?
To the south, you can hear the river. To the northeast-ish, you can kind of see a little bit of a flickering flame a little bit. Give me perception checks.
Okay, well, I want to look at these mushrooms, but
Okay.
Oh, nat 20 for a 22.
Biggest says 19.
I got 15.
15 for Chedbar.
Blender, you can make out a rustling noise over top of the water noise to the south. Almost like leaves in the trees rustling in the wind kind of noise. Elena, give me a nature check for the mushrooms.
Yeah, I just want to know if any of them would go well with my risotto. It's a pretty popular dish.
That's what the Shire's known for. It's their risotto.
The Shire's risotto. Okay, 14.
You recognize one of these mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
It's a green one with yellow spots. You pick it up and it smells of rotting fish.
Oh,
But you know that taking a bite of it will make you feel better.
I'm going to nibble on this said mushroom.
You get 7 hit points back.
Oh, snap.
It
Dang.
stinks of rotting fish, but you get 7 hit points back.
Excuse me. I know there's a lot going on, like 4 different paths to take, but these are really good mushrooms, everybody. Here, I'm going to slice them up, and I like julienne the mushrooms very nice and like professional chefy, and I like have them on my hand like a little charcuterie. Everybody should take a little, just try it. Don't smell it, just eat it.
Mushrooms usually don't agree with me, but, they don't know what's going on.
Just a bite.
Take a bite.
Yeah, I'll take a bite.
Yeah, Chedbar is always eager to fuel his fighting prowess, so he's gonna grab a pretty big handful actually and just mow down on him.
I was gonna say, anyone that feels better after eating them that needs more would maybe continue eating.
No, they're all gone now. Glutton.
You all get 7 hit points back. And if you try to eat any more, it doesn't have any more effect on you.
Chedbar is feeling healthy.
I must say that it goes pretty well with the blood honey. But down this way, I hear some what sounds like a shimmering death shroud in the wind. It's quite melodic, actually.
What the heck is a death shroud?
Yeah, I don't really understand what you're trying to explain, but let's go.
Not really an everyday occurrence.
Oh, well, I mean, I suppose it also sounds a little bit like maybe the rustling of leaves, but immediately that's what I was reminded of, is a flittering shroud upon a coffin at a dearly beloved one's funeral, dearly departed. For now, departed for now, I assure you. I don't know.
Let me guess, you're gonna bring him back.
Well, I mean, if I continue my studies, I will certainly have the ability to do so. I'm definitely tested, and I'm very close. Yes.
I like your enthusiasm, buddy. Let's go take a peek.
And that's our show. For more Aspara information, visit incorrigibleparty.com, where you can find all of our social media links, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as our Patreon. Our patrons get exclusive content like blooper reels and patron-only mini-campaigns. Our theme music was created by Josh Jarvis. For any of your musical needs, you can contact him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Well, the rest of our sounds and music throughout our plays provided by tabletopaudio.com. And of course, our show sponsor, Critical Hit Design. For your design needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com. Happy adventuring. This has been a Sounds of Steel production.